YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing great so far. And so I just came back from a 3-hour lecture, and so I'm feeling kind of tired, and my nose is kind of stuffy and my throat is kind of icky, but you know, I still wanted to make this video for you guys because I'm so excited to do this. And so today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about what's on my reading list in 2019. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a pretty big reader. Like, I love to read. And so, you know, I wanted to share with you guys what my favorite novels are at the moment. So yeah, let's do this. The first book that's on my list is obviously To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And so this book was actually featured on Netflix. It had like its own movie come out, and it was written by Jenny Han. It's basically about a girl named Lara Jean who wrote 5 letters to 5 different guys, and you know, one of those guys she ends up being at the end. So if you guys haven't read this yet, you guys should read this. It's like a young adult fiction kind of story. I feel like most of my reading choices are really young adult romance. So yeah, and this is definitely a cute romance that I enjoyed reading. While reading this, I fell in love with Peter Kavinsky. I have a major crush on that guy. And so definitely like Jenny Han did a great job writing this. Like, it was so interesting to read, and I just really loved how, like, it's not like every typical love story, because normally it's the guy telling the girl that he likes her, but this time it's the girl telling the guy. You know, feminist power right there. So the next book that's on my list is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and this book was also made into a movie, and it actually was played in theaters, I think? I'm not sure. But all I know was this movie was a really big deal because it's about the LGBTQ community. It's like based on a boy named Simon who hasn't come out yet to his family, and you know, he's trying to figure himself out, and there's like someone else blackmailing him, and it's like, it's really interesting. Like, it's also a coming of age novel. This book is really like a social justice book because it talks about the LGBTQ community and like what they go through, and it kind of helps us understand like what this community is, and like how there's people out there who are like this, and like, you know, like it touches on the topics of discrimination and social justice and being unfair, like things like that. And you know, this boy Simon, he's struggling to come out to his parents, and so there's a lot of teens in modern society who are going through that, and so this book can really help people like that. The next book that's on my list is Songs About a Girl by Chris Russell. I am proud to say that this is my most favorite book out of my entire reading list. I love this book. It's honestly about this girl named Charlie Bloom who is a photographer, and she gets invited to be the photographer for a boy band named Fire and Lights, and it's really based on the One Direction band, but it's very cute. Like, she goes and she like does photos for this band, and she really learns about how it's like to be under the spotlight, how it's like behind the scenes, and like she learns a lot about these guys and like the struggles they go through, and obviously she falls in love with one of them. But it's very cute. Like, I love this book so much. I tweeted the author, and he tweeted me back, and he gave me so much advice on how to be a great author, because, you know, I want to be an author one day. You know, it was so cute. Like, I just loved this book. I fell in love with this so much because, you know, it's like this girl, she wants to follow her dreams of being a photographer, and her dad is like very strict. So there's like all of this going on, but even then she like goes out of her way to follow her dreams. In this book there was also the lead singer of the band, whose name was Gabriel West, and he was also a boy who, coming from like a very traumatic past, and after going through all that, he's like still following his dreams, and he gets a lot of pressure from being under the spotlight, and only Charlie knows about that. Like, they have like this close bond, and it's very cute. I really loved this book. Definitely, you know, I really loved it. You guys should definitely go read this. So the next book I have on my list is 5 Feet Apart. This book is also very adorable. It's like a cute romance between 2 teens, but makes this book so great is both of these guys are struggling with cystic fibrosis, and you know, like, they're not able to be close to each other. They always have to stand at least 5 feet apart. You know, get it? 5 feet apart. And so because of that, like, it's a very intense romance. Like, they love each other, but they can't come close to each other, so it's all through like communication, and it's a very adorable. Like, I cried at the end. The ending is so sad. Like, this movie was also in the theaters. I cried while watching it in theaters. I cried while reading this book. Like, it is so sad, and it's such a cute story. I definitely recommend this. Stella and Will are the cutest couple out there. They are OTP. I will always ship them. So the next book that's on my list is... This isn't even a book. It's like an autobiography of the band. Okay, I'm putting this back. That's not on my list. That's just an autobiography. The next book I have here is The Faults in Our Stars. This book came out when I was in the 8th grade, and 5 years later, I am still reading this all the time because it's so good. Like, Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Waters, they are so cute. Like, you know, they both have cancer, and there's a lot of comparisons actually between this book and 5 Feet Apart, because both of them, they both struggle with diseases, and within that, they're still in love with each other. They don't let the diseases come in their way. And, you know, that gives a really strong message to, like, the readers and the audience, because they're telling the viewers and the readers that, you know, you shouldn't let, like, your disease or anything overcome you and let them predetermine you. Like, no one can tell you who you are but yourself. You can go fall in love. You can go do whatever you want. Don't let any disease or any sickness or any person or anything come in between you and your dreams. You know, you go for it. That's who you are. The next book I have on my list is After. And I love this book because, you know, the way how this book got published is actually so, like, amazing and so inspiring. So basically the author, Anna Todd, she was just a normal writer on Wattpad. She wrote a Harry Styles fan fiction, and a publishing company found her and published her book. Like, that is honestly so amazing. Like, that inspires me because I also want to be a writer one day, and, you know, I'm just like, you know, this normal girl, she just decided to write a really good story and she got noticed, and I'm just like, hey, like, I want to do that too. Like, that is so cool, that is so inspiring, that is my goal. So this book is about a girl named Tessa Scott, who's an English major. She basically is going off to college, you know, and she goes there, she already has a boyfriend back home, and she meets Hardin, and, you know, they've got some sexual tension going on, and so, you know, there's, like, a lot of complications, and, you know, at the end has a huge plot twist. You know, she finds out something about Hardin that changes everything. And so, it's basically how, like, before she met Hardin, she had, like, a very, like, planned out life, like an agenda basically. She's like, she's going to college, she's going to go do this, work in publishing, that. Then this boy named Hardin comes in and kind of messes her around, and, like, there's like this other side of her that's being seen in this story, and this book also made it onto the big screens, into the movies, because, you know, it's a cute love story between Hardin and Tessa, but there's also arguments that, like, Tessa and Hardin kind of have, like, a toxic relationship, like, he's not good for her, like, he's obviously coming in the way between her and her dreams, and, like, you know, when you look at it that way, that's also kind of true, like, because, you know, you shouldn't let a guy come in the way of following your dreams. Clearly, Tessa wanted to have, like, she had her life planned out, but then Hardin came along and kind of, like, messed everything up. I liked reading the story, though. Like, it was pretty interesting, you know. I didn't only just love it because it was a Harry Styles fan fiction, but because I just like how the way it's written. Like, Anna Todd did a really good job with her creative writing skills, and it's really interesting, like, the way she put the scenes together, you know, like, Hardin, he's a person with a lot of anger. He comes from a rough past, and he has, like, temper issues, but with Tessa, you know, he wants to be good. He wants to be good for her. Because originally, Hardin, he's not a good person. He likes to mess around, you know, he just plays with girls like they're toys, like, he doesn't give a crap. But with Tessa, he wants to be an actual human being. He has feelings, and, you know, there's, like, this whole other side to Hardin that's only being shown when he's with Tessa. So, Yeah. So those are pretty much all the books that are on my reading list at the moment. I noticed how most of the books that I like were made into movies, but you know, my kind of books, they're always like young adult romances, and like there's so many other books I like, you know, like Second Chance Summer, The Start of Me and You. That's just my style of books, you know. I really like young adult romances between like young teens who don't really know their identities and they're still trying to figure themselves out, and then they meet other people who like they start getting attracted to. You know, I find that whole thing to be pretty interesting. I don't know, that's just the kind of person I am. So yeah. I'm currently working on some novels on my own, and I'm currently on Wattpad writing you know, like a lot of stories here and there. The way I write is I like to write out scenes, like random scenes at random times, and then I kind of just like put them together. And so that's currently what I'm doing. Like I'm just writing a whole bunch of scenes, and then hopefully one day on Wattpad my stories will be published. And you know, I hope one day a publishing company notices me. And who knows, you know, let's hope my author dream comes true. Obviously, my stories are inspired by authors like Anna Todd, Jenny Han, and you know, the list goes on. But yeah, and that's pretty much like my reading list. I haven't been able to get a lot of reading done because of school and stuff, but you know, I just, you know, novels just give me happiness. You know, that's just how I enjoy life. I love to read. So that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. And of course, today's shout out goes out to Nars World. Thank you so much for subscribing. Remember, if you want a shout out, you just gotta subscribe. And I will totally give you a shout out in my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next Rosy Friday. Bye!